Hey, what is up guys, my name is Austin and welcome back to the channel where today I'm going to be doing a video that I've been wanting to do for quite some time now. So for those who don't know, I've been an Android user since I'd say July of 2017. And I've been an Android user since I was probably 7, my first phone being an HTC Evo 4G. I might go over an updated review of that phone, but for those who know, I did do a review of that phone a while back. But in today's video, I'm going to be going over a pretty similar phone, and it's a phone that I kind of bought to replace my Galaxy Note 3, but I was stupid and didn't know anything about phones at the time. And that phone is this. This is the Galaxy S, I think. One of the first Galaxy S phones from 2010. I forgot its official release date. But is this phone worth it in 2021? I'll give you a short and simple answer. It's a big old fat no. This phone, it has a lot of issues with it. And for 2010, this phone was one of the best phones that was out on the market. I got this phone for $30, I think, off of eBay, and I wanted it to kind of replace my Galaxy Note 3, but little did I know, a 7-year-old phone wouldn't be able to do much. I vividly remember the first day I got this phone. My mom actually had to take my siblings to a dentist's appointment the day I got this phone, and I had to sit in the dentist's waiting room and just kind of mess around with this for a bit. I didn't have any internet, none of that, and I was just kind of messing around with it, and at first I loved the thing. So what's on the outside? So right here you have your classic good old volume rockers, up and down, and then a little lanyard thing. Don't know why it's there, but on the back you have this nice sparkly metallic look to it, which I honestly kind of love. A 5 megapixel autofocus camera, which actually I'm going to go over in a bit. I'm not going to say too much about it right now. You get your flash. This is Galaxy S right there, and Sprint 4G. This was one of the first 4G phones. Funny thing with the speaker, when I first got this phone, and I didn't really mess around with the speaker too much because, like I said, I was in the dentist's waiting room, and I did have headphones, but I wasn't going to play anything like full blast in a dentist's waiting room. So when I got home and I was going to look up some good old Dan TDM and watch it on this phone, which I could do at the time. And little did I know, I couldn't hear anything. There was absolutely no sound coming out of it, and what sound was coming out of it was very low quality. Turns out the speaker had actually blown. And like I said, I bought this phone for about $35, I'd say. So we ended up having to buy a new speaker for it, which I thank my dad for, honestly, even though this phone is completely unusable nowadays. But the speaker ended up being $50. The speaker ended up being more than the actual phone itself. Honestly, not worth it, considering the phone would be completely unusable in 2 years, 3 years, once all that stuff. So on the top, you got your classic good old headphone jack, RIP, and your micro USB, which actually has a little slider, but it's stuck, unfortunately, don't know how. We already went over that side. On the bottom, you have your microphone, which was terrible quality. And on the side, you have your dedicated camera button. Press halfway for focus, all the way down to take the picture. Right here, you have your power button. Currently, this phone is dead, but I will be charging it here in a second. A thing that was popular in phones in early 2010s and late, like 2007, throughout that time period, is a very interesting mechanism that you don't really see too much in phones nowadays. And there is a good reason for it, but one of the reasons why I bought this phone was that this is your sliding out keyboard, and that's one of the reasons why I got the phone. So it's got your standard QWERTY keyboard, one you're familiar with nowadays. The neat thing is that you could fully use this phone in this landscape mode. You could still record, and then honestly it was a lot easier to record and take pictures when it was like this because it was bigger. You had a little bit more stabilization, and you can see my beautiful face in the background. But yeah, this phone, it was kind of crazy for 2010, and I loved the heck out of this phone. On the front of the screen, we have our very beautiful, if this will focus for me, please. You do have your very beautiful VGA quality front-facing camera. I know, it's crazy. And you do have a very beautiful, I think it's a 480p screen or it's 720p, I don't remember. I think it's 480p. Pixels are just so easily able to be seen. Alright, now I've got it plugged in and it is currently powering on. So I will get into the hardware. It's pitiful. And when a lot of people talk about the Galaxy S, this is normally the phone that they're going to think of. The original Galaxy S, the phone that evolved into the phone that we know and love nowadays. And I don't actually think, and I might be completely wrong on this, I don't actually think that this was the first Galaxy S phone. Alright, so it took a little bit of finding to actually find the phone, but it's actually called the Samsung Epic 4G. But anyways, sorry, that Samsung Galaxy S Epic 4G, I do remember that. But like I said, 4.0-inch screen, 480 by 800 pixels, 512 megabytes of RAM, 5 megapixels camera, capable of shooting up to 720p, and a 1500 milliamp hour battery, which honestly, I sound stupid by saying this, but it lasts like 5.5 hours, just constant use, and I don't know how. I do think it is a brand new battery though. It was released in September of 2010, announced in June. You can add up some storage to, I think, was it 5 gigs, I think is what you can up it to. Corning Gorilla Glass, the original, I believe, 4-inch screen, I already said that. The CPU is clocked in at a whopping 1.0 gigahertz. It ended at Android 2.2 Gingerbread, I think. The recording highest is 720p at 30 FPS. The selfie camera is you can only take pictures with it. Micro USB 2.0. Features, accelerometer, proximity, and that was big. That was some big stuff for 2010. And proximity sensors were crazy back then, and now they're kind of a big standard that actually not a lot of people use nowadays. A removable 1500 milliamp hour battery, up to 300 hours standby. That is the most fakest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It only came out in black, and it was about 200 euros, but in the US it was like, if I can remember, I think it was like 180, I think is when it first launched, is how expensive it was. It was not the main S phone that came out in 2010, like I said, it was the original S. It's a pretty hefty phone, but let's turn it on and swipe directly into this beautiful home screen. So I do have a different launcher on it. It was one of the other pre-installed launchers that are on this phone, but let's go into the pictures. So this is that beautiful VGA quality front-facing camera that you see right here, right next to that red dot. Even for 2010, it was really bad. The HTC Evo was miles ahead of this in RAM, screen size, or not screen size, but like pixel density, all that good stuff. Cameras. Maybe I should make an updated video for that. But yeah, this is something that you probably couldn't even get by using in 2010. There were much better options than this, such as the iPhone. I think it was the 3GS that was out. This is another picture with the beautiful front-facing camera. Just some pictures, like, honestly, if you can get some photo editing into these pictures, you can actually get by using this in today's world. I know, it's crazy. 5 megapixel sensor. But Android's camera tech back then has always been amazing to me. Not necessarily in low light conditions, such as this light bulb. It looks super clear and crisp. If you zoom in, you can see the clarity in on that. This is more of a low light picture. You can still see stuff, and it's kind of crazy to think. Another low light picture of my Xbox controller. More upstairs. This is just my upstairs. I took a bunch of pictures around there. These are all pretty low light condition photos. Well, that is my Galaxy S7 Edge. Tried to take a picture of it to make it look nice, but it's not the camera you can actually get. Sorry about that, but you can actually get by using the rear-facing camera in today's world. It's kind of weird. Do I recommend using it? Absolutely not. But is it a good backup camera? Still no. There are better options than this by a long shot. One of the unfortunate things with this phone is that support, it doesn't exist. So says your device is no longer supported. It does kind of suck. Use Android 4.0 or above to use YouTube. I tried getting an APK download, it just doesn't work. I tried to connect my personal Google account to this phone and it simply just does not work. When you go to add an account, it says Google Play services are down. Can't download any apps from the Market. That's back when it used to be called the Android Market and not the Google Play Store. Both the same app, literally. But is it fluid? Surprisingly, yes. It's surprisingly fluid. Definitely not by today's standards at all. But let's go ahead and go into the camera so that I can just... It's interesting. So, low light conditions are horrible. Like I said. But as with any Android phone, even my Galaxy S7 Edge has issues with low light. Like I said, you can press it down halfway to focus it, and then all the way to take the picture. If you flip it to recording, the quality does kind of almost instantly get a little bit better and a little bit more smooth. It's kind of weird. No optical image stabilization. I don't even think that came around till, I think my phone, to be honest. Might be wrong on that, might be the Galaxy S6. But, and then when you flip it around, it's a whole different story of just what the heck. Definitely not a phone you'd be using in 2021, or a camera that you'd be using in 2021. It is kind of sad, to be honest. And one of the instant nostalgic things for me with this phone is one of the original YouTube app, or a version of one of the original YouTube app, I guess, I don't know. But this is the YouTube that I remember when I was like 9, 10, the YouTube that I used to discover some of my old favorite YouTubers, such as Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, and PewDiePie, and DanTDM, and all that. Honestly, if it wasn't for this phone, I probably wouldn't be here today, and it's kind of crazy to think. But I really don't think there's absolutely any justification to using this phone in 2021. There really wasn't any justification for me using it in 2017, because for a while my dad didn't really like me just always using his old phone, because there was a point where it still had all this stuff on it, and we didn't know what factory resetting was. But that's why I got this phone, and then I figured out factory resetting it, and then I got the other old Galaxy Note 3 back. But anyways, yeah, that's the Galaxy S Epic 4G. An iconic phone, definitely. It did stop on, I think, like I said, Android 2.2, if I am correct. We'll go ahead and look at that phone. No, 2.3. So it's actually an update ahead than what was it, Phone Arena said? I think that was Phone Arena, I'm not sure. But anyways, yeah, this phone is not worth buying. Don't buy it. I mean, unless if you are a phone collector and you don't have this phone, I do actually recommend it just because of how iconic of a phone it is. This phone definitely holds a place in my heart because it's one of the phones that I used to discover YouTube and all that kind of stuff. One of the main phones that I used to discover YouTube on. The main one was my old HTC Evo in like 2013. That's actually how I discovered all my old favorite YouTubers. But I'll go more on that on my 4-year anniversary. Can't believe I've been doing this for that long. But anyways, that does it up for this video, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys did, make sure you guys leave a like because it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, make sure you guys subscribe and share with your friends to spread the word about my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And this was a fun video to make. And I've been wanting to make it for years now. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!